welcome again. So I'm really super excited about today's class because number one, we're having it on this platform. And secondly, I'm about to share with us the blueprints to becoming an instructional designer, in such a way that we can actually compete with our colleagues globally. I know that a lot of us, if we are to apply for a job now, an international job, we are not likely to be able to ace it because of certain things that are lacking. And that's what the eLearning Designers Hub is here to bridge the gap. So if you don't know me already, my name is Oyindamola Ojeria Meato, aka Bekamola. I'm the Chief Learning Officer at Bekamola, and I'm the founder of the eLearning Designers Hub. Today, I'm really excited to be talking about this and I'm also going to be sharing my journey, how I transitioned into tech, how I became an e-learning designer, and the opportunities that have come my way, what I've been able to achieve doing that. Let me know if you can still hear me. Am I audible? All right, thank you. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm the Chief Learning Officer at Bekamola. Bekamola is my e-learning consulting organization that I started as a freelancer. And what I do is to offer e-learning design solutions to organizations. I have over 10 years of experience adopting learning to generate revenue in different ways. I'm going to touch on those. I've been able to increase employees' performance, leading to customer satisfaction and revenue increase. I've been able to get employment in a global corporate organization, which is what I'm hoping to be able to help most people here to be able to achieve. Or if you want to run a personal consultancy practice to provide learning solutions to other organizations, I'm hoping to be able to help you with that if you are willing to go on that journey with me. I started eLearning Designers Hub because I haven't done much research, and also coming from Nigeria, from Africa, I understand that a lot of people, a lot of organizations in Africa practice learning and development, but however, the employees are not able to design learning, design end-to-end learning, applying, the learning processes, instructional design processes to be able to achieve learning. And that's why I started the organization eLearning Designers Hub. What we do basically is to organize webinars to enlighten people about new trends in e-learning design. And we also conduct workshops like what we are doing today, a version of what we are doing today, where we teach people in e-learning design skills, how to use different technology tools to design e-learning. And we also are going to be having our very first conference. Sorry, that just went off my head. We're going to be having our very first conference in May, where we're going to be, introducing the community to many people. In that conference, we're going to be, helping people organizations to have access to people that have e-learning design skills, or that provide consultancy in e-learning. And there's so many things that we're also going to be doing. So let me talk about how I transitioned into instructional design e-learning. I used to run I ran a successful business as an event decorator in Nigeria. And I wanted to relocate with my family in 2020 with feelings of uncertainty. I've been a solo entrepreneur for about 15 years, and I wasn't sure my business would be able to sustain me financially because of the culture of the country I was going into. And so I decided to do research. I decided to do something about this to address my fear, because I did not want to, have to do menial jobs abroad. So I started doing researches, especially in tech, because then 2020 was the year that there was COVID lockdown. My business then was actually impacted also, and that just pushed me out. I needed to generate revenue, and I started doing research, project management, different things that I thought I could do. And then I stumbled on creating online courses, and that was appealing to me because in my original business, I was always doing boot camps to help people upskill in event design. So that really appealed to me. And then I found out about technology that I could reach out to more people using an LMS, designing courses. And I just went ahead and I did a course in e-learning design using an LMS. And it was really eye-opening. After that, I created many boot camps, live sessions, boot camps for kids, and I was able to make money for myself then. I made money developing training programs for adults and children while in Nigeria, up to $2,000 in a month. And going forward, I arrived in the UK, and then I did a lot of research and more self-study. I started applying for jobs in tech. And while doing this, I realized that for you to get a job easily, that job you're applying for, you must have had experience in it. And so the experience I had creating learning programs in Nigeria helped me to be able to get this job. And apart from that, I didn't just get that job immediately. I realized that when I saw those job descriptions, I did not understand some of the terms like gamification, Sereno-based learning, and I did more research, I did more learning, and I found out that, okay, these were things that I'd already done, but I just didn't know that those were the terms being used. So that training helped me. Do you have something to say? I can hear someone is trying to talk. That training really helped me to, gain the knowledge, and I started applying for jobs. I started, researching interview tips, and then how to optimize my CV, how to optimize my my LinkedIn profile. And, after a while, I was able to land my first job in e-learning design without having a certificate or a qualification in e-learning. And with that, I now decided to take go for a course, which helped me to understand more about learning processes, learning design, because for me to be able to keep that job, I needed to do more. So while applying, I had recruiters come to my DM or my LinkedIn profile to talk about job offers because of the way my LinkedIn profile was optimized. I also, based on my experience creating learning programs in Nigeria, I landed that job. And then I was invited for interviews by several organizations, including Cambridge University and Volkswagen and many other organizations. And then I was able to afford travel for holiday to European countries, in my very first year in the UK. And one of the amazing things about it is the fact that I did not have to do a manual job, because that's what most people have to do. While waiting for a job, the bills are real here. And then I didn't have to do that. And this was because of the experience I had, the training I had, even though the journey I had right from 2020 till the time I came to the UK took me like 2 to 2.5 years to be able to, learn how to get employment, how to prepare myself for employment in an organization, corporate organization. And remember, had been a solo entrepreneur, no experience in corporate organization, and I was able to. So now I want us to address certain things. Does anybody have a question for me? You have a question for me? Okay. So I want to talk about different ways you can make money with e-learning, which I've been able to achieve. I've been able to make money with e-learning by getting employment in a global organization, and then being able to increase my value at work. I've been able to, make money with e-learning by being a techpreneur. That was the very first, thing I did with e-learning. When I learned about it, I did a course and I created courses and programs which allowed me to be able to make some money for myself. I've also been able to monetize my skill solving problems by designing course, with my experience for organizations. And then I've also been able to lastly solve problems. When I was having my when I was running my business, I realized that there was a problem we had. And after doing some research, some analysis of what the issues were, what we could, I realized that we needed to, develop a training program. I developed a training program then, which was face-to-face though. And then I was able to help my business to be able to increase the performance of my employees and then increasing our return on investment. And this, even though I did not understand the process of designing e-learning, the terms used, one of the things that I know is that I was able to, now doing my course, I could now relate, all the terms with those experiences I had in the past. And why am I saying this? Some of us have businesses and some of us are already in corporate organizations. And the skills you have already, you probably have skills in learning design, some of the skills, but then you need to know how to talk about those skills using global standards of terms, vocabularies. You need to be able to know about the process of e-learning design, how to explain that process, and how to now create learning interventions. Because what most of us are experienced in doing is to have the content, maybe we have consulting organizations that develop content for us. And what most of us have experience in is facilitation or maybe some learning need analysis and then assessment and just coordinating people. But many of us don't have that experience of designing learning. And there's a process to that, which I'm going to explain to us later. So one of the things about having your learning design skill is that it helps you to have a work-life balance because there are a lot of flexible working options that are available for e-learning designers. My very first job was hybrid. It was 90% remote, actually like 10% face-to-face because I only had to go to work 1 week in a month. And that 1 week I spent 2 days and the rest of the month I worked from home. The role I have now, I'm working solely remotely and it helps me to be able to balance my work life, situation. The e-learning design, the edtech industry is in high demand now that technology advancement has made people see the possibility of organizing learning design online. And so there's high demand for learning designers. There's high demand and there are very few qualified and competent learning designers out there. Another reason it's a good, role to come into is that it has no code. You don't need any coding skill. You don't really need a certificate or degree required to get a job or to start a tech consulting business. You don't need to. And then there are a lot of transferable skills you already have, like project management is a transferable skill that is required in learning design because every learning that you design is a project on its own. And then if you have data analysis experience, like you've always had the opportunity to collect data, maybe just through, when we talk about data analysis, they believe that it's, so big. If you've collected data, got information from people using Google form or any other form before or any other means and you've been able to look at those data and use them to determine people's situation or condition in their learning, then you have some data analysis skills. One of the advantages of having this skill in e-learning also is that if there are opportunities in your organization to get a role or promotion in e-learning in the L&D unit of your organization, and these skills, these opportunities are passing you by because you don't have e-learning skills, that is one of the reasons you may want to consider, getting a skill in e-learning. Or another thing is if you're planning to relocate abroad and you've already or you have already relocated and you are stuck in a job that you are not proud of, e-learning design skill is one skill you want to consider because it's so easy to transition into. I said earlier that it took me 2 years. And the reason it took me 2 years is that I did not have an idea that there could be a program or boot camp that I could attend where I could learn all the things that I learned in 2 years. I was exposed to a lot of information overload, just getting one information here and there, doing things here and there. And it took me a long time. But by the time, looking back now, I realized that I could, if I had the right person to guide me, if I had the right person to mentor me, I would have been able to, kickstart my journey in six months. Yeah. And then industry knowledge advantage. One of the great things about e-learning design is that, for example, if you have experience in customer service, that's one course that a lot of organizations need to design. If you have experience in that and you become an e-learning designer, it's going to give you industry knowledge advantage to be able to advise your subject matter experts, who are the people that's supposed to give you the content that you're going to design with. Or if you have experience in any field, let's say you are from your experience or background is in medicine or any other field really. Whatever experience you have, whatever background you have, does not matter for you to transition into e-learning. In fact, it will be an advantage for you to help your subject matter experts to design knowledge. And you can also get a job in a corporate organization without any prior experience if you are able to get someone to guide you to know how to do certain things, which I'll talk about later. So let's also talk now about the misconceptions about tech, because I know if you have a question now, please let me know before I proceed. Any question? Okay, great. Thank you for that. So let's talk about the misconceptions about tech. A lot of people believe that the tech industry is so complicated, but if one thing about tech doesn't mean that you must have experience in coding, but one thing is, if you have been able to use technology to do anything, for example, we're using technology now, Zoom, Discord, to have this to have this training we're having now. Many of us have used Google Form. If you have been able to use tech at one point in time to do anything, it means that you are tech savvy, then it's going to be easy for you to pivot into, a tech role, because there are a lot of tech roles that do not need coding at all. A lot of people believe that they are too old to pivot into tech. For example, I transitioned to tech when I was 42 years old in 2020. And then many of us know this former Nigerian actress, Buki Wright, who is now the information security auditor in US. She started at the age of 44. Imagine if she did not start now. She's over 55 years now. All right. She will be like 57. That's 11 years in tech. But she did not start at 44 thinking, oh, I'm too old. How would I cope? Now she has become an information security auditor in the US. So age is not something that should deter you from considering transitioning into tech. We want to say, okay, I stopped working in corporate organization 10 years ago, and I don't think I can fit in. I stopped working in the tech in corporate organization in 2004, and almost 20 years down the line, I went back into tech, upskilled myself, and I was able to get a job in corporate organization, regardless of the fact that I was a solo entrepreneur, not really in tech, in event design. So if you are smart, if you're tech savvy, you're a long life learner, you are willing to learn, then you can transition to tech. So I've had people say, I missed an opportunity to get a role, though I was involved in the L&D project in my organization, because I was told I don't have the skill in learning design. For me, I decided to upskill in e-learning and instructional design. And when I got rejected in interviews, I was not in in an organization, but I was outside. I got rejected a number of times, but I kept, for every interview I had, I tried to get a feedback to know what I did wrong. And I went to upskill myself and learn more and prepare for the next one. So you don't want to take no for an answer. You want to keep going. And then some people say, I've researched different tech roles and they all seem to require a professional certification or degree to get in. Let me give you a disclaimer. Even though I saw the need to go for a professional qualification or degree, which I didn't go for a degree. It was a professional qualification, a diploma, which lasted for like 4 months. I still got my first tech role before I did that. So that is not something that you should make. You may have to get, into an academy to learn about e-learning so that you can fit in. But I'm saying that it's not about the qualification that will give you the job, really. It's being able to show that you have experience, you have the skills. And then some of you may say, I'm not cut out for 9 to 5 anymore because I'm burnt out in my role. But I can tell you that there are a lot of freelancing opportunities in e-learning where you can help people to either design training in their organization, or there are also a lot of freelancing platforms where you can just register and you can get to do projects, do your jobs based on project. You choose a project that you want, the time that you want, you're flexible, and then you can, have a balanced lifestyle. Now, some people say, can I really make money with e-learning? So I've explained, I've explained how I've made money designing learning programs by myself, how I've gotten a job, and as a freelancer, I'm now, doing other stuff to be able to, I'm designing learning for people to make extra money for myself. So now, let's go into the major things that you need to be able to transition into e-learning. The first thing is that you need to have knowledge and skill requirements. There's certain knowledge and skill requirements that you need to fulfill. And one of them is you need to be able to conduct need analysis. Need analysis means, okay, when there's a training, you're asked to come and design a training, you need to be able to conduct analysis to know the gap of the learners and in relation to the organizational goal. You need to know the organizational goal for designing that training, for wanting to design a training, and you need to be able to conduct analysis to even determine if training is the solution to that problem or training is just one of the solutions. And then you can advise them and say, okay, we're going to conduct training, but these other things you need to take care of. You need to be able to work with subject matter experts. As a learning designer, you're not necessarily supposed to have an understanding of all the topics, but you're going to help the subject matter experts design a learning experience around their topics. And you need to be able to work with subject matter experts, having communication skills. You need to have interpersonal skills. You need to be able to design effective learning solutions. And to be able to do this, you need to know about learning models, learning methodologies. You need to know there's a common model that is known as ADDIE stage, which means analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. You need to be able to know about all these stages and what model you need to use at every stage. It's a process that you have to go through. It's not just about, I know how to use this authoring tool, I know how to use Genially or Articulate, or I know how to create videos. I can just create. No, you need to, there's a process that you need to go through so that your learning intervention will be effective. When I say effective, there are learning outcomes that you're going to get when you conduct your analysis. And those learning outcomes should be in relation to what you want, where you want to take your learners. Okay, they have this knowledge gap. You're taking them to another place to fill that gap. What are the skills that they need? Okay, to fill those skills, what are the topics that you need to teach them? Now, how do you need to teach them? And that's talking about learning formats. Is it okay for them to have self-managed learning where it's just at an LMS? Or do we need to combine it with face-to-face or virtual learning? What is the learning experience? What activities do they need to go through so that they will understand what we are teaching them? Do we need to use gamification? Should it be scenario-based learning? Should it be AI? Do we need to use virtual reality? Those are the things. And the learning, what I just mentioned AI. AI is one of the, learning, how do I call it now? One of the methods that you can use to teach people. There's something called brain adult learning. You need to be able to know how adults learn because they're not relating with children. In school, in high school, elementary school, students are taught based on, they give them the topic, they have to cram, they have to understand it, memorize, and, bring it, and then be able to answer questions. But for learners, for adults learn in a different way. So you need to know adult learning theories, to know how adults learn so that you will be able to design your learning experience around that. You need to have project management skills. You need to be able to communicate. You need to have analytical skills to be able to analyze data. And you also need to be a lifelong learner. What that means is that, at times you're working with subject matter experts who come with topics and they just, have so many topics to bring, so many contents. And as a learning designer, you need to be able to be willing to research about those topics and be able to give the right advice on what should be done or not. So we've talked about knowledge and skills now. Before I move on, do we have any questions for me? Questions?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
I posted a question in the chat, but I'm not sure you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I can see it now. Is that Kate on? Kate on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good.
So the question says, can you explain exactly what you mean by transition to tech? I mean, we use tech a lot these days, so please clarify the difference. Okay, thank you. So when I talk about transitioning to tech, what I mean is you're transitioning into a career which is regarded as a tech career. For example, when I was an event designer, I used tech in different ways. I was using Canva to create graphic designs. I was using floor plan softwares to create a floor plan. I did a bit of interior design. I used to create floor plan to design a room and make my clients see what it will look like before we start, the design and the execution of projects. So I was using tech. So I was tech savvy, and that helped me in transitioning into tech now. Now, e-learning design is basically the use of technology to create learning interventions. We have other tech roles like program, what's it called now? Program management, and these are they're referred to as tech skills because you have to use technology and some technology principles to create things like having a platform, creating a platform, having a platform business. That is not low level tech anymore, but the fact that you're tech savvy and you've been using technology will help you to be able to fit in. That's what I mean. So a tech role, a role that is regarded as a tech role, that is what it means to transition into tech. I hope that answers your question. Kate?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I've talked about the fact that to become an e-learning designer, you need to have the skill and the knowledge. And one of the skills of being an e-learning designer is that you should be able to use authoring tools. Authoring tools are the tools that we use to create learning, such that it's not just in PDF format. It's, for example, if you want to create interactive learning, I don't know if you attended the workshop we had last. We did some interactive learning with Genially, where you can, you can have like a learning experience that is almost like a simulation, like a real life experience. that is one of the things you should be able to do, apart from the fact that you can relate with subject matter experts, you understand the business goal, you can create a storyboard. That's one of the things that you'll be able to do. The storyboard is actually designing a learning experience. Learning design is about E-learning design is about creating a learning experience for your learners. It's not just about the topics. How do you create an experience for them, a user journey? And then apart from that, gathering data so that you can use that data to understand how they have learned, what you need to improve, in your learning design, in your learning intervention, and other things. So apart from having the skill and the knowledge, you need to now have a portfolio that shows your skill and experience. So this could be in form of a website. There are a lot of free websites that you can use. It could be in form of a PDF file that people can go through to have an understanding of your experience and your skills. And usually you'll be able to achieve this if you have been involved in the learning project, such that you tell a story about your project and the process that you went through, and what are the things that you learned, were you able to achieve, what kind of iterations did you make, so your portfolio should be able to showcase your skill, your skill, experience, and knowledge. I've talked also about a lot of learning theories, learning methodologies. You should be able to show that you know learning methodologies, learning theories, even on your portfolio. Likewise, on your LinkedIn profile and your resume. You don't just write, there's so many things that I don't want to confuse us too much with terms, because I'm not sure of how many people really have an understanding of learning design. So one of the things that you should also be able to do to transition is to know how to get ready for interviews. That is another thing entirely. And I believe that all of these things are, I know that all of these processes are things that they are, I've gone through all this process. It took me a long time. And looking back, I can tell that if I had someone to hold me by the hand, if I had someone to mentor me, I would have been able to achieve it in 6 months. Because at a point, I was just trying to find knowledge in different places, a lot of free knowledge, and some courses I paid for, some programs I paid for, and I've spent a lot of money only to realize that, okay, if I knew, I would have, maximized my resources, my time, my finance better. And one of the ways you can do this is to get trained in an online academy. Of course, you need to do your due diligence and research about these online academies to be able to know that they know what they're talking about, and they have experience, or they have achieved what they are promising that they will do. Yeah. Any other question before I move to the next thing? Questions, please.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Are you able to recommend some of these online academies?
Okay.
The reputable ones.
Yes. Okay, so one thing that I went to, and I enrolled in an academy in the UK, which I got more training and got a certification, and I can say they are very good and recognized. However, it is super expensive, especially when we're talking about, converting to Naira and, and all that. It's almost about £2,000 that I paid. And I've also stumbled on a lot of boot camps that are, and one of the things about this kind of academies is that the teaching was related to, going to a university, a lot of knowledge base. We did a project, but what really helped me to get my projects done and be able to create my portfolio was extra research that I did. But I know that quite a number of boot camps that are very overpriced, that will take you through the process of learning the theory, learning the knowledge, the skill, as well as being able to create, be involved in a project, create a portfolio, and then optimize your LinkedIn profile and all that. And that's why the eLearning Designers Hub, I decided to start our own academy where we get you trained in between 3 to 6 months. Really depends on how fast you are, how available you are to learn. I know, and we designed it that way because there are people that are working that want to upskill, and they probably can just spend a few hours in a week to get their work done and do their assignments. And that is the one online academy that I want to introduce to us, which is the eLearning Designers Hub, the Elite Hub Academy. So we have this program that we have put up, which is eLearning Design Bootcamp. And the things that you're going to learn in this bootcamp are to be learned between 12 weeks and 6 months. That's between 3 months and 6 months. It really depends on how fast you can learn. This program is for existing and new L&D professionals or teachers who want to learn how to create digital learning interventions. And like I mentioned earlier, there are different ways you can make money with this skill. Either you get a job in corporate organization, or you start your own freelancing, or so those majorly, those two. And then if you're already in an organization, it's going to increase the value that you can provide in your organization such that you are able to get promoted easily. So you're going to learn the learning theories, instructional design theories and models, learning technologies, your e-learning development. E-learning development is the ability to create interactive learning, but you don't start from there. You start from theories and methodologies. And you're going, in this program, you're going to be involved in design projects, your own projects. We're going to be teaching LMS administration as well, how to, using an LMS or being the administrator on an LMS can be a bit technical, but we'll take you through that process. You'll be able to create your portfolio and then optimize, learn how to create your portfolio and also learn how to, optimize your LinkedIn profile. And, one thing about this kind of program from research is that if you want to, most of them, the ones that I know actually they're in the UK or in the US, and the least that I've seen is about $2,000. That is the least that I've seen. But this one is created, for the African audience, and it is just for $500. If I can, let me share with you. One moment, I'd like to share with us the page where it is, and I can also share in the chat. That's okay. So give me a moment. I'm going to be sharing with us now our website and one moment, please. Give me a moment to share.
Do you have a payment plan?
Yes, there's payment plan. Like I said, this particular program is designed for the African audience, and I understand the economy and how things are, and that's why we also have a payment plan in place. So give me a moment to share the screen for you to see more about the program.
And we're able to pay in Naira as well.
Yes, you're able to pay in Naira. And the fantastic thing about payments in Naira is that how do I explain it now? We're not using the actual black market exchange rate for you. So it might help you it will reduce the amount you're paying in Naira as compared to people that are paying in dollars, and then you don't have to worry about the conversion of, having to convert. Give me a moment. I'm trying to share my screen, please. Give me a moment. I'll have a better view of the course. May I ask if you're already in the Elite group, the WhatsApp group? Hello, Kate and Tosin.
I'm in a WhatsApp group. I don't know if that's Elite one or
Yes,
that's
yes,
where
it
I
is.
saw this.
Yes, yes. So actually, we're going to be closing that WhatsApp group very soon for different reasons. One of which is to help people safeguard their numbers, because we're going to be having a lot of marketing done to get more people into the community. And so to safeguard people's numbers, we're going to be moving to Discord. And a fantastic thing about Discord now is that we can also have all our resources stored on it. I don't know if you're also on our Facebook group. Are you on the Facebook group?
I think so.
Okay.
But why Discord? I mean, Discord,
Okay.
I think it's a bit unstable and requires a lot of data.
Not really. So the thing about Discord is this. For example, we're having our meeting in Discord right now. That's one reason. Another reason is that we can store all the resources. For example, people have to go to Facebook to have access to resources that we've had before, workshops and all that. It's going to be on Discord. And we can also have our information passed across. If you have noticed on WhatsApp, I don't know when you joined, we need to keep repeating some information as people join. So people that have joined before, they have to now have access to those information on and on. You know, it can be discouraging, but if we have things on Discord, it's just one place that everyone goes to. Everything that you need is there. And like I said, you know, data protection is also something that we have to be really careful about, mindful of. So I'm going to share.
How about Telegram?
Telegram, you can't really store resources on Telegram.
You can.
So when I say resources, upload all our, school, all our resources and courses. And Telegram, okay, that's what I mean by resources, not just sharing links. So this is an academy now. And this Discord is integrated to our website such that you can easily get resources, and get information.
Okay.
So that's one major thing. I'm trying to share my screen. I was trying to respond to you. Okay. Does that answer your question? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I just need to up-level my knowledge of Discord. That's it.
Yeah. So, and it's very simple. Yeah, it's very easy to use. As in, you came in, it was easy for you to find where we are, and we're having the class. Okay. All right. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Okay, don't worry.
Can you all see my screen, guys? Become a professional e-learning designer. That's the screen.
It's here too.
Can you see it?
Not yet. No.
You may have to click on watch stream.
Yeah, I have done that, and it's still.
It's loading. Okay, it's loading. Okay, I guess it's loading. Okay. All right. Let's wait a bit and you'll see it. Okay, it has come up now.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, great. So this is the page, which I'll share the link in the chat with us. So basically, like I explained later, you can, become. It's a program that is designed to help you in between 12 weeks, between 3 months and 6 months. And the next cohort is starting in March, on March 4th. So to enroll, you click this button. I'll share the link with us shortly. Basically, it's for you to be able to accelerate your tech career. Like I said earlier, it took me a long time to get to the journey where I got to, because I didn't know about boot camps early enough. And I really wasted a lot of money, I can assure you. So what we have done, since I've gone through the process of learning the learning theories, the instructional design theories, the technology, knowing how to create courses, and now getting a job. So I'm trying to help people get to that, to go through that journey as well and kickstart your career in e-learning design. without having to waste time with information overload, you know, or wasting money or wasting time doing different things all over. So you're going to learn how to apply principles and theories to design effective training that improves performance and generates revenue without having to code. You'll be able to learn different ways you can use e-learning skills to generate revenue, either as an employee or an organization, or if you are self-employed. You'll be involved in live e-learning project that will give you hands-on experience. You'll learn how to create your portfolio, reflecting your skills, your experience, and so that you can showcase either to your clients or employers. And like I said earlier, it's amazing, even if you don't get a job in corporate organization, there are, you know, a lot of platforms where you can get projects done. You can apply for projects and then you can get jobs done. There are e-learning platforms and freelancing platforms. You learn how to get your resume and LinkedIn optimized so that you can stand out to recruiters and clients. Like I said, because of the way my LinkedIn profile was optimized, there's no month that I don't get someone reach out and say, there's this opportunity, are you available? There's this opportunity, are you available? You know, once you put that open to work status on your LinkedIn status, recruiters, when they are looking for people, I mean recruiting organizations that recruit for other companies, they are searching for people so that they'll be the one to bring in the candidates. And so they are searching. If you have your LinkedIn profile optimized well, they'll be able to find you and start suggesting that, okay, let's go on a call and all that. And then if your so that's one step. The second step is to go to your resume. How is your resume? You know, does it reflect things? And then at least you get your legs into now start getting involved in those interviews. So we're also going to teach you how we're going to conduct mock interviews as well in the training. So you get the opportunity to it's be like a simulation of an interview. We'll have you, you know, apply for a role, and they will give you feedback based on how you do. We also give you resources that you can use to prepare for interviews. And then, of course, you have access to global e-learning opportunities. We've been sharing job opportunities in the WhatsApp group. And that's one of the reasons I said we are moving to Discord. Everything is in a place. And then people don't have to start going to Facebook and WhatsApp. You know, everything is here. So you have access to job opportunities. And then you have access to this community of e-learning professionals. And you know, the amazing thing about the e-learning designers hub is that we have started a mentoring program. Let me quickly show us where I'll share the link with us. Either here or WhatsApp group might be better so that we can. Okay, let me quickly share this one first in the chat here for us to see. I'm still getting used to this platform myself, so chat, all right. So I've just showed the link to the bootcamp, and then you need to click on enroll to be able to have access to it. So now I'm going to show us the mentoring program. Well, before I go on, is there anyone who did their assignment for the workshop we did last that needs feedback? Because I promised that I'm going to give us feedback. So we have a conference coming up in May, which we're going to be giving information about it soon. If you know of any e-learning professional that you believe can speak about topics, I'm going to be sharing with us opportunities for people to come and speak. So these are our workshops, webinars, we're aware of them. So this mentoring program, for example, if you want to become a mentee, so it takes you to our mentorship platform where you can talk about where you need mentorship, what area you need mentorship, so that we can match you with the right mentor. This now is not part of the program. This is part of being it has to do with being part of the e-learning designers hub. Okay, this is the back end. So it's going to, once you click on that link, it's going to tell you to sign in. Okay, maybe I wasn't user. So this is where it brings you to, and then you can select your program. The program that you select obviously will be our program, and then something went wrong there. Let me go back. It's not showing. I don't know. Okay, programs. I don't know why it's not showing, but you'll see it and you'll be able to choose. It's just the early program that you'll see, and then you'll be able to have access to, you'll be able to register your interest to be mentored. Oh, one moment, please. I think I just saw it. So I'll talk more about the mentoring program in the group, actually. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's taking me to the back end. Sorry.
After the boot camp, or is it on its own?
So the mentoring is on its own. For being a part of the eLearning community, you have access to mentoring. So we have people who have offered to be mentors in the community. So we just match you with someone that will like help you in terms of accountability. For example, you have a goal to achieve, but we'll match with someone who has been where you're going to, and then you can, they are the ones that will determine how many sessions they want to have with you. Most likely like 2 sessions to talk about your career goal and give you a strategy to, get there. I'm one of the mentors as well, so we can match you with, you can signify who you want as your mentor. So I'm going to share with us in the WhatsApp group. That's by the side. But for the program, like I said, to be an e-learning designer, you need to have the skill, you need to have the knowledge and experience, and you need to be able to showcase it. And that's what the program does for you. And like I said, other programs globally will charge you nothing less than $2,000. And we are doing this just for $500, and you have the opportunity to also pay in installments, even though there's an initial amount that you have to start with. And the next cohort is starting on the 4th of March, which is next month. So I've shared in the group, I've shared in the chat with us the link. So you just need to click on, enroll. Where is it? So yeah. So if you click on enroll, let me show us where it is. Enroll now. So you can also book a call to get to know more about the